I just got dumped, right? So I was like, oh, I'm ready to get back out there. Like, I'm horny, whatever. So I was like, this guy's really hot. Like, let me reply to this because whatever. Like, let's just like hook up because that's what gay culture is. But actually, we didn't hook up at all. We just went on dates and dates and dates and more dates. Like, got him an engagement as well. Like, what, 2,000 or 3,000 pounds?
And unfortunately, I misplaced it. Yeah.
You ever propose to me, don't be spending lots on the ring because I know I will lose it. I know. So Will actually got me a promise
That's
ring.
not the response I wanted. On our 3-year anniversary, my boyfriend told me he wants an open relationship. He said it's the only way we'll grow. I thought he was joking. He wasn't. What do I do with that? Welcome back to Agree the Disagree, the podcast hosted by two lovebirds. Two people very much in love, myself, Will Young, and my beautiful girlfriend, Jessie Wynter.
So Will and I have been together 2 years, and I think we do give a lot of relationship advice. But today, we have a couple that have been together for 7 years and they're married. We have the iconic Nick and Anne. Woo!
Hey,
Guys,
everybody.
I actually thought you were on about us when you did the intro.
I was like, who's in the room? Oh, it's us. And also, guys, just so you guys know, 7 years in gay years is like 80 years. So like gay relationships tend to not last so long. So for us, it's a really, really big deal.
This is a slay. And you two are quite young.
Yeah. Do you want to
Thank
guess our age?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is such a bad
Oh,
game.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna lowball it because you've always got to lowball it, don't you?
He's
but
like
I'm
30.
gonna say you two. I would say
Don't mess this up.
I would
Yeah.
say like 25,
I was gonna go 24.
maybe 24.
Okay.
Okay, both spot on. I'm 25.
I'm 26.
Wait, but you lowballed it though.
I think
So 27. No, I'm joking. No, so yeah, 25 and 26.
Yeah, but we've been together for 7 years and we met like at age 18 and 19.
18. Yeah, so it's
Wow.
been a really long time.
Yeah.
So how did you meet and how fast did the relationship escalate?
Yeah, so, well, just a bit of context for me. I've been on social since I was 14. So it's been 11 years that I've been on
Wow.
YouTube and other social media. So I started off doing like reacting to musicallys. You guys
Honestly,
know what that is? Yeah.
those videos back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, your audience might recognize me as well from doing slime. So if they're a bit younger, I was like one of the biggest like slime people back in the day, like on YouTube. So it was like me and this other girl would just do like DIY, no borax, no glue slime. Like
Why do
that
I
was
feel
a
like I've
no-no.
probably seen your old videos?
Probably, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, so then I went from reacting to slime content, and then I got bored because I was like 16 years old doing slime, and I was like, what's going on with my life? Then I came out to my YouTube at like 16, so I had 2 million at that point. I came out as gay, and so to a 2 million audience, that was quite hard because a lot of them were like not okay with it. A lot of parents were watching it with their kids, so they said, "Well, don't watch it because he's gay now." So I went through like a lot of like mental health problems, but because of that, but I kind of got past it, and then I started doing like very much LGBTQ lifestyle content. So my first ever video doing that was I met a guy in the UK, not him though, and I have a type, and yeah, so we did like a long distance relationship kind of like situation until he dumped me when I was in the UK. That's a whole other story though.
Oh, we should dive into that actually.
Yeah, I'm
'cause-
interested.
Oh, really?
But we'll let
Okay.
you- yeah.
So essentially, I was doing a video where I went to surprise my ex-boyfriend in the UK. So he was from Exeter, so like quite far out. And so I flew into London, like didn't tell him where I was. Like I was posting on my story, like I was still in the US because I was there at the time. So I like took like 3 planes, like a whole National Express, like a bus from like Heathrow to Exeter. I finally get to his hometown and I'm like, surprise, I'm here. And he was like, oh, well, it's like on the phone, right? He goes, oh, you're here. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. I just flew away here. He's like, oh, no way. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow then. I'm like, no, like I've just come all this way. Like, please, like I miss you.
You see me now.
Like, I'm here,
Yeah,
babe.
like
Come on
I'll
this
book you a
way.
taxi and everything. Like, so I have to book him a taxi to my Airbnb. Like, it was crazy. And then he sits me down. And he's like, Nick, it's not gonna work out. Like, I'm really sorry.
Stop.
So
Oh
I
my
got
God.
dumped in a whole different country.
Oh my
whole
God.
different, like, I have never been to Exeter in my life. And so I was like, fuck, like, what do I do now? So luckily I had a friend that lived not too far away. So I stayed at her house. But when I was staying at her house, that's where he lived. So
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like
Nick
in-
has one friend in the entire UK
Yeah.
and they live in my hometown.
Wow.
Do you believe in
Yeah.
fate? Because that does kind of, that does
like
sound
in,
like...
yeah. invisible strings.
Yes, that's it. Like if you didn't go surprise your stupid ass ex, you would never have met
Slay.
the love of your life.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I feel like I really think that things work out, like always work out for a reason. So yeah, I just was in the UK, and then he DM'd me because he was a bit of a fan, but hates to admit it. Do you want to say your side of the story?
Now, this is something that we probably shouldn't dive into.
Okay. I love hearing both sides of the story because they're all so different, aren't they?
Straight blank, were you a fan?
No, I'd watched his coming out video 3 months before. And so I'd watched like just that video really. And I kind of recognized him when I was on the dating apps. I was swiping no to loads and loads of people until I swiped no on this one like really hot guy. It was him.
It was me.
And I was like, damn, I recognized him. Where did I recognize him from? And I did like you. I stalked his social media. And then I came across his YouTube video that I watched 3 months before. And I kind of then was like, oh, maybe he has Instagram. Why is he on my Tinder if he's not geographically next to me?
Yeah.
And then, I DM'd him on Instagram.
Cute.
You guys want to know what the DM was? It's really embarrassing.
Yes, I do. 100% want to know what the DM
What was
was.
the DM?
Should I say it or do you want to say it?
I'm really embarrassed. If
Oh.
you can't
Should I say it? Should I say it?
Am I getting red?
A little bit.
blushing.
Let me fan you.
I honestly hate this story because I can't believe what I said. Like,
But it was so long ago as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know, the more you talk about it, the more I want to know.
She's like, what is it?
like, I don't know how it worked either, but you can explain what I said.
So he goes, what is my crush doing in my hometown? And actually, at the time, I was like, kind of like, I just gotten done, right? So I was like, oh, I'm ready to get back out there. Like, I'm horny, whatever. So I was like, this guy's really hot. Like, let me reply to this because, whatever. Like, let's just like hook up because that's what gay culture is. But actually, we didn't hook up at all. We just went on dates and dates and dates and more dates. And like, we didn't even kiss until like date 2 or 3.
The thing is 3 months before I met him, I just like kind of watched my first coming out video on YouTube, which happened to be his. So like, I literally had no idea anything about like guys or anything. I'd never experienced a guy before. So there was no way I was going to meet someone and do anything the first time meeting them.
So when you watched his video, had you come out by then?
No. In fact, we got into a relationship and I still hadn't come out. Like it was a complete
Wow.
secret.
So I find this because when my brother came out to our family, it was like, it almost like made out to be this big thing, right? When in actual like black and white, it's not this thing because you don't see someone straight go into their family, I'm straight. Do you know what I mean? And it's this whole bonkers thing. And I can only speak of how my brother felt in this situation, like coming out to the family. It was this like really, really big thing. And he was like really scared. But then obviously when he came out, it wasn't a big deal. And it's almost like all this emotion brought up for nothing, you know?
And I think a lot of us struggle with that, like especially like you just feel the need to come out. But I think nowadays, like coming
more
out is
open, isn't
becoming
it?
less and less a thing, which like thank God, right?
Of course, yeah.
How did he cope? Because there's quite a common thing in the countryside and small towns, like they find it very hard to come out because less open-minded families, or maybe there's not as many gay people in their village. Like how was he?
He found it really, really difficult. So a background for us, we're farmers, right? Which probably, if you stereotype, aren't probably it's probably quite difficult to open up about, you know. But what he did, he said that he was kind of like straight, going through school, had girlfriends, different things like that. But it was when he went to university, and I think maybe he felt a bit more like himself. He didn't have his maybe like family or peers or anyone watching. He could just be his true self. And then I think he kind of said to the family that he was bi first to try and
that old trick.
to lessen
bi as well.
lessen the
Me too.
But it was like it made no difference to the family or the friends or anything like that. And then like 6 months down the line, he was like, oh no, like I am gay. And we were kind of like, Thomas, like, we know, you know, we
That's
know.
cute. Oh, it's nice that your family was so accepting of it. Though,
But it is really difficult, especially from rural countrysides where probably it's not maybe as accepted as it is in larger cities. You know, it is a lot quite difficult. And I know his friends growing up, a couple of them came out as gay as well. Oh, wow. And it was a lot more difficult for them with their families and different things trying to accept it.
You were really lucky that you had a supportive family, really.
Of course, yeah. No, 100%.
That's really lucky because I think, honestly, with people coming out, particularly me back then, I still couldn't come out, even though like I found the right guy. We just got in a relationship. I still was struggling to come to terms with it. I couldn't tell my family, let alone like my auntie, my sister, and eventually my sister, I think, came to me and was like, I kind of know.
And
then
then it is like that.
Yeah.
Well, also for context, while we were dating, but he wasn't out yet, I was your friend's cousin or something.
Yeah.
So when I would go to his house to meet his parents, like I was his friend's cousin. I wasn't like his boyfriend at all.
That date where I
Yeah.
didn't kiss him, we first met, I brought him to my family's home. I just kind of wanted to play with it, see their reaction, because I was
Yeah.
hanging out with him all week.
Yeah.
I even said like, oh, my friend's from Newcastle, he's come down, and so therefore he's going to need a place to stay, or I'm going to go to an Airbnb with him and hang out because, I never get to see him. I made up so many excuses just to
Yeah.
spend time with Nick that week.
And what do you think was the biggest challenge for you to come out?
I think it's just an internal thing.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't come to terms with it myself because
Yeah.
as we talked about earlier, or maybe this was off camera, I can't remember, but straight people don't have to come out. So it's
Yeah.
like not, I don't know, it just felt not normal.
It's like a bigger
Yeah.
pressure put on you for no reason.
Yeah.
Like
Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't make
no
sense. And I
reason.
can't really articulate why. It's just I didn't feel comfortable with it. Like
And-
so many people.
And do you think watching Nick's coming out video helped you at all?
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
isn't that like crazy, like the way fate has worked?
It's so weird, like watching his video, discovering him on YouTube, to then him being in my hometown, getting dumped,
That's
it's
not
crazy.
fake. That is
wild.
fake written all
listen,
over.
yeah.
This
Someone
could be like a
planned
rom-com.
that. Yeah, no, literally.
And Netflix, let us know.
Yeah,
you know?
Netflix.
They love
Oh,
gay
it
shows
is.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
Come on, call us up.
Yeah, a lot of people actually say like we're their Nick and Charlie if you've seen Heartstopper.
Yeah, like Heartstopper.
Like it's quite a common
yeah.
thing. And I think actually we might have been like one of the first gay couples on YouTube.
Yeah, I think we were one of the first like openly. Well, I mean, there were a few at the
There was a
time,
lot
but
before,
like
yeah.
not long distance, anyways. Sorry. So we were like one of the first like long distance people to show their relationship online, especially gay.
Oh yeah, we were long distance.
So yeah, I think But
you
now
guys
there's
have
so
been
many.
through it all, and now you're married.
I know.
Ah, my
Skip forward
gosh.
7 years and yeah, we got married.
Yeah,
Wow.
so much has happened since. I think, we've moved countries. So like during COVID, he came to Canada where I'm from. We flipped houses over there. So now we're big into renovation. And then we moved back to the UK and flipped our house here. And then we did a lot of content between. We've been on, a couple one reality show in the midst of that. And it was like we've done a lot of stuff just since being engaged and being married. So,
So I think if the message is if things don't work out and you get dumped
Yeah.
horribly like Nick did,
it's
there's
for
a
a
silver
reason.
lining.
Yeah,
Yeah, get on
definitely.
Tinder. Your person might be in your area.
Watch
might
some
find a-
YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Find your crush and DM them. It works sometimes.
So, were you on social media before, or was
No.
it just Nick?
Yeah, no, so I worked at Waitrose.
Wow.
There's actually a really cute story of when we first got together as well. I was on the tills at Waitrose and Nick walks past and there was this rule where you're not allowed to serve family or people you know because
Really?
Yeah, because if it's your friend, or you might say, "Oh, I'm not going to scan that."
Oh yeah, you
Okay.
might put something through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
technically might happen.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
I always used to love it because he used to walk into Waitrose and come to my till, no matter how big the queue was. He would just like wait in queue just for like, what was it, like a little bit of donuts or something? He
I
used
don't
to-
know. And
Yum
Just wanted to
Yums or
see
something.
And
you.
he
Yeah.
never gave me a discount.
Really?
Like, what the hell?
I
That's why
probably
I went in his queue. But
Yeah, I was a loyal employee.
Yes.
I just hadn't worked there long enough to have the discount. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you had to come out to your social media, Nick,
Yeah.
when you were 16.
16, yeah.
That's a lot at that age, I think.
Yeah.
To 2 million people as well.
Yeah.
What was the difference coming out to your family to coming out to the followers? Which one was
You
harder?
know what? So much easier on YouTube, funny enough. And I think I came out to YouTube first. Like I filmed the video. I hadn't posted it yet. And then I said, okay, well, I just filmed this. And I've come out to 2 million people. Like now my parents need to hear it next.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, I sat them down. I remember this. They were like watching TV, and I just sat them down. I turned the TV off, and I'm like, "Listen, I've got to say something. I'm bi." But what I wasn't expecting was, so my mom's like brother is gay, who's my uncle on our podcast, and then she goes, "Bi? What is that?" Like they didn't understand what bi was. So she was like, "Are you sure you're not just gay?" At the time, I was just like, "No, I'm definitely bi, whatever." And it wasn't the coming out that I thought it because they weren't understanding what bi meant. And so they weren't very supportive because it was like, well, I don't even know what that is.
They didn't understand
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because they've been used to gay for their whole life, my mom especially. But then it was just like, yeah, like bi was so new to them. But then eventually, like, you know, they learn what bye means and whatever, and then I mean, now that they're so supportive. I mean, like my dad actually went on my channel and gave advice to parents that didn't want to accept their kids as being gay. So that video did like numbers on YouTube.
That's really beautiful.
And yeah, a lot of parents were commenting like, I haven't thought of that perspective until your dad said it. So
Oh wow, that's crazy.
yeah.
I think that's really beautiful as well, because I can imagine that could have been a challenging period for you with like the people online. We know what internet trolls are like.
Yeah.
And then you've got not only yourself giving advice, and you've given advice to the person right next to
Yeah.
you, and like it's worked out so well for both of you. Then your father to come on and do that as well.
Yeah.
And I think, like, how many years ago was that?
So my dad, like, I came out 2016. So
like 9 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
9
Seems,
years
I mean,
ago.
I hate to look back and go, fucking 9 years. Like, oh
You're
God,
like,
I'm
oh my
so
God.
old.
Oh my God, don't even start me. 'Cause I had a
Yeah.
mental breakdown. I just turned 26 and I was like, oh my God, like when I started thinking about a quarter of my life is done. And if my 26 years went that quickly again, I'm going to be 50 and then I'm going to be like,
Exactly.
what is going on? And I was like, do you remember? I was in the car
Yes.
and I was just in this
Yeah,
really
the breakdown.
An early midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you keep really busy, time goes slower.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's
babe, you
why
gotta
it's
keep
cool.
busy. That's like, how do
Yeah.
you keep that busy?
Because if you do nothing, you have nothing to reflect back on. So if you're like
Oh.
not doing anything and then you look back, it feels like all jumbles into one. But then if you've like been doing lots and lots of different things, like if you think about when we went to Ireland, that was only 2 months ago.
That seemed like that. How was that 2 months ago? Oh, that was like
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh no, yeah.
Time's moving. I will have another mental breakdown right now. Time is moving too
Not
quickly.
on the
No, it is.
podcast. I actually do it for the views.
No, it's actually moving too fast. And honestly, it's kind of scary, but I think we might live to more than just 100 years old. So I think you got a bit more time.
Yeah.
You're good. You've got
Fingers
another
crossed.
five quarters.
You've
I'm
just
like,
got to
guys,
cut
look
out
at
the
J-Lo.
nicotine.
Yes.
I know.
She's like, she's gonna live forever at
Tom
this
Cruise
rate.
looks really good for 60 something as well. Like,
Yeah.
guys. if
Concept
they
of
look
age
that
has gone
good-
out the window for me. How old's Kim K?
They all look
40s?
They all look beautiful, don't they?
no
I don't know.
idea.
I need to get on whatever they're doing, to be
So
quite
it's
honest.
filler,
Just
it's
get rich.
Botox.
Yeah, filler, Botox.
Being rich.
Salmon sperm.
Yeah.
Yeah. all of it.
Oh my God, I've just got onto the salmon sperm.
Really?
Yeah, I have. No, I have. I've had it, how many? Once, maybe?
You've
Once
had
or
it
twice?
once. We need to have it a couple more times.
Yep, I've Botox
getting
this
it
year. I've had Botox and salmon sperm this year, and it's just like I'm being brought into this new world because of Jessie, and I'm like kind of addicted, and I love it. I love it, honestly.
Bad or good influence?
Yes, I know. And I was like freaking out like the first time I got it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, like I don't want to lose the expression in my face because I'm a very expressive talker. And they're like, no. And I was like freaking out, but I can't. I now need it all the time. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
just.
if anyone goes to any injectable people, go to someone good.
Yeah.
Like, don't risk your face on
Absolutely
like
not.
cheaper work or whatever. Like, go to someone good.
I did it last week for the first time.
Yeah. It's
What,
also
the
his
Botox or
first
salmon
time.
sperm?
I don't.
I don't know.
I should
What are
probably
sperms? I don't know.
probably need to
You got
know what they put in
Botox.
me, but I don't.
Yeah.
What did I get? I got it in here.
Botox.
No,
He got like because well he doesn't have it, but he thought he had hollow eyes, so he got like
it
it was
didn't.
actually really scary. It was like a massive needle this big, and it was just going into his skin.
it's
Oh my
really-
God, that's
it's
like
like-
salmon sperm.
That's
what
what we
they
have.
do.
Is that what it
yeah,
is? Oh, maybe-
polynucleotides or something.
Yeah, they were doing that, and it's horrible.
Oh, I
It
know.
is.
I was watching. I was like, oh,
I put it on Snapchat. Yeah.
yeah. He was
Yeah, we
like,
did that
I put it on
too.
Snapchat. They love the Botox. They love that sort of stuff on
I couldn't.
there.
I was like this, something else like this.
Good watch
I
time.
couldn't.
I know it
can't.
is.
I always get scared if like they did that because I twitch. Like I literally twitch all the time. I'm like, imagine if they had that in my face and I go like that and then it goes.
God.
That's like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
No,
Don't
thank
manifest it for
Yeah,
yourself.
I'm like,
No.
don't manifest this.
No, manifest
I'm
it.
sure that's happened, but that's why you need to go to a good one, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll change the topic to something more positive.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I know.
I
we
want
both
to talk
talked.
because we're currently renovating at the moment.
Okay, cool.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Not fun
fun.
because
Oh.
I think we must have
Sorry.
nearly broken up about 50 times.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
a good
stressful.
relationship tester.
It is.
Absolutely.
It is a real big test.
Yeah.
So you say you flipped the first house in.
So yeah, we did
Canada.
2 houses in Toronto.
Yeah.
And then we moved to London, and now we've just finished our townhouse here. So we've done
Wow.
3 properties now, and they've all been a brink of divorce.
Are you living in it at the same time?
Wow.
The 2 in Canada we did,
Yeah.
and then this one we did for half of it. But that was just as bad because I mean, at some point we were living in the loft, and our kitchen was a pile of dirt with the hose coming out.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's really
So
quite
that's
bad.
how bad it was.
It humbles you, doesn't it?
Oh
Makes you
my
grateful for
God.
the simple things in life.
Yeah.
It
Oh.
feels like camping, but you're in London, so it's something like you're in nature. You know what I mean? It's just like really humbling.
It's very
yeah.
expensive as well.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yes. I feel like with renovations, you'll budget it. And then they're like, well, actually, this needs fixing
Yeah.
now.
Double and triple it, you know?
Yeah, I'm like,
It's always
anyone
like
that ever renovates, you need to budget for about 30%, maybe even 50% more.
50.
Yeah, we
How far are
doubled
you
our
guys
budget.
in?
Yeah, we budgeted it and went to the budget, and then it was just like so much more costs on top of that because it was like, oh no, like all of the piping for your radiators actually need to not be underground. So we had to get all of that redone. And it's stuff that we didn't get told because obviously we were doing it for the first time.
had
And it
no
was just
idea what
like,
we were
But
doing.
I will say, once you do it, like you're like good now because in Canada they're done so differently. So when we did our first homes there, it was so easy. Then I got here, and our house is like from the 1800s. So there's like horsehair in the bloody walls. There's like walls are
Newspapers.
crumbling.
Yeah,
like
literally.
so. Yeah, it was really a different to like an 80s house in Canada. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he looked at the walls. We were doing the wallpaper. We were getting it off with a steamer, and the plaster had all blown. Like it was quite evident there was
horrible.
humongous cracks all going down it. It all needed to be torn out and
Yeah.
replaced. And Nick was like, "No, just paint it. Come on, we don't need to do that."
that's
'Cause
what
That would
I
be
would
him.
do. Yeah.
we had no
But then
experience.
building control will be like, what is that?
Yeah.
Actually, our builders found like the sketchiest thing in our loft. So we weren't there, thank God. And they were like knocking walls down in our loft, and they found a storage, and they took out this jar, and they sent us a picture, and they're like, "What should I do with this?" It's a jar of weed, and I was like, I don't know, fucking
stacked.
dispose of it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want.
nothing to
And
do
also,
with
I
it.
didn't see this. Like, I was like, I don't know what you do with it, but like, I don't want to be involved.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it made sense because there was a teenage boy that lived in that loft, and so he must have hid it like under the planks of the wood or whatever.
Wow.
But it was like from the 80s or 70s. Like,
Really?
it was an
Oh my
old
God.
jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
So-
it still look intact? I'm
yeah,
so
like
curious about this.
I was like, smoke it. Like, I don't care what you do with it, but like,
That's
I
like
think it
what
might
is
have.
that?
They probably
200-year-old
thought it was
weed.
yours.
That is, isn't
Maybe.
it? That is vintage weed
You're
you've
like, he's
got.
Canadian, it's legal there. I'm like, no, babe, I
Does
don't.
it age as well as wine? I don't know.
Yeah, some vintage like weed. Yeah, I don't know.
But honestly, we had some horror stories. Like we had contractors come in on like any drug imaginable. Like I see them
God.
doing
Yeah.
it, taking it in the house. I'm like, close my
They
eyes.
went on
and just-
strike.
Stop
like,
it,
They went on
Really?
strike.
Yeah.
Can you go on strike somewhere else, please? Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
We never got
Anyways.
that. We did get the first builder we got in actually just made us transfer a load of money and then just vanished.
Oh,
Oh no.
Yeah.
we've heard so many stories about that.
He literally just vanished. And then I was then going to like the Sun and just like and like calling him out.
Daily Mail. Get on
Literally,
this.
no, because it got his attention and he like sent me screenshots and was like, "What do you mean? I'm still coming to do the job?" And I'm like,
It's a month later, babe.
"Yeah." I was like, "You know,
No.
you've been ignoring me. You've got our money. Can I have it back?" And then he would just ignore me.
Did you get an article?
Yes, yeah.
Oh.
he
No,
got
they put in
amazing.
a video because Will was at an event. So they were just there asking about his life. And Will was like,
I'm coming for you.
yeah, but like, not like in like serious, but I guess Daily Mail makes everything look extremely serious.
And it's like Will's coming for the builder that robbed him, and I
And then
was like,
screenshot a photo of Will like that down the camera.
That is so funny.
know,
I'm
yeah.
gonna go reread that article now.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, like newspapers, like they do make drama out of nothing.
Oh,
Oh,
100%.
they're so good at it.
I'm glad they were on your side, but recently with Nick,
Oh my God, yeah, I got-
the same day I think the Pope died. Okay.
Yeah.
And these outlets decide to write articles about this.
Oh my,
Let's
yeah,
explain
just
that.
very quickly. I mean, it's not that important, but
Okay.
essentially, I did a video where I was like unboxing Easter eggs in the UK, and I was just shocked because they were like super like thin.
Yeah.
They were like big, but they were thin. Like if you turn them around,
The chocolate was there.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
turns
yeah.
out it's like this whole thing that like the UK is like, it's like changed like the last 2 years because they're trying to make like more money. Anyways, so I did a video about it, but the Daily Mail was like, American is so upset with British eggs. I'm like, "Oh, I'm Canadian, but whatever." And then yeah, it's this big. And the same day the Pope died, I'm like, come on, the Pope dying surely is bigger news.
Yeah, but then your Easter egg-
Like-
before anyone comes on the podcast, I do a Google check to see what's trending. And I saw this, but I didn't understand what was going on. I was like, I looked up your name and I was like, why is there just like pictures of Easter eggs?
It was my latest controversy, guys. I'm sorry. Pre-podcast, bad timing. I'm joking.
But they are thin here, the Easter eggs. They won't lie.
Yeah, like all the Brits were like, yeah, actually, I get why he's upset.
We've gone on a massive tangent.
Yeah,
I
we
think.
have.
Yeah,
I
we
love
have.
that for the tangents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like looking down at the notes. And I'm like, we're on a massive
Sorry.
tangent right now,
Sorry.
and that is good. Though we love
Easter
it.
eggs, Pope Tiger. No, but back to when I worked at Waitrose. I then went to uni, and Nick at that time moved to the UK. So he moved from Canada to be with me after 5 months of dating.
Wow.
And so we moved in together in my uni halls, like tiny little bedroom. It was a terrible idea. And then he ended up going and getting his own place next to me. And then
He was doing fitness content. So that's why his Instagram's Antsy Fitness.
Yes, everyone
Yes.
needs to check it
Yeah.
out as well. A little plug there.
thank
but
you,
yeah,
babe.
he started doing like personal training online. And so
Oh yeah, because that's it. I was at university doing fitness and personal training.
Yeah.
And then I met Nick, and Nick was like, "Fans love you. You should start an Instagram." So I started like a fitness account. Before that, I'd just be probably still at Waitrose if it wasn't for him.
Or you
No,
need personal training.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
probably would be doing that. Yeah.
And he'd be really fit right now. Well, you still are, but
Yeah, but getting in a relationship, like gym goes downhill.
Yes, this is
Yeah.
something I wanted to talk to you about.
I actually look at pictured me just before we went on to Loveable, and I'm like to Jessie,
Oh,
like
God.
I was like, I'm never gonna get like that again, am I?
That's what they say. That's how you know you're in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
It's the healthy relationship weight.
absolutely. Yeah.
Do you guys train together? Or not?
When we train,
Yes.
we train together.
So we-
That's
when we
cute.
train,
Yeah, we do our like training and health kicks together. So it's not like one of us is on a health kick journey and then the other's not. It's like aligned.
But then it's bad because then if you break it and like you go on like a bit of like a chocolate spree, the other person's just going to jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Well, I was
So-
gonna say it's motivating and also like motivating in the bad way sometimes.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
because it's
no.
like if I'm like, oh, should we skip the gym? And he says, yeah, let's
I'm
skip
already
it.
thinking it, but
We're
I'm
done.
not like saying it. And
You're
then
like,
when
I'm so glad
Jessie
you
says,
said
I'm like,
it.
fine, all right then.
Yeah.
You've
I
twisted
think-
my arm. I'll just give it.
We're the same. I'm literally the same.
Yeah.
But we have different workouts as well. Like he'll do like very much weightlifting, and I'm on the Stairmaster. Like
Yes, that's like we'll go to the gym and lift weights, and I'm like, do you know what? I feel like doing the treadmill today, and
Yeah.
I'm like, going to the gym was a win for me. Like I didn't
Just
need
turning
to.
up is a win.
Yes.
absolutely.
Doesn't matter what happens,
Literally, I came. Do you know what I mean? I'll come along.
And how do you find doing content together, obviously, as a couple?
I mean, now it probably makes us almost break up. Like honestly,
Wow.
Oh my god, okay, I love this because I was gonna have
Stressful.
questions about this. Like when you have to do content, say for like ads or just content together or just because you need to do it, do you ever like get in a bad mood with each other?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Guys,
every
this
day.
is I love this.
I think
I love
that's
this
how you know
honesty.
you do have a healthy relationship, because if you didn't, there's something wrong. There's
I
something
mean, yeah. Also, like we all do the same thing, but like we all work together 24/7. So like we live together, we eat together, we have the same friends, like which I think shows a lot because a lot of people are like, oh, I can barely spend like half an hour with my partner after work, but we're
crazy.
always together. So I mean, you're bound to get into fights and stuff as you're working. It's like it's natural, and also the fights are always petty. It's always like, oh, I want to wear that top, not you. This is gay couple stuff. I want to wear that top, not yours. And then
It's
it was
actually
like,
my top that I bought for
and,
Coachella.
and this is mine. So there you go. Yeah.
That's what I always find. It's like
Yeah.
it's sibling arguments, when you have
Yes.
just like when
Yeah.
you almost like probably are on top of each other because you spend so much time. It's like the pettiest of arguments, and then like
Always
10
is,
minutes later,
yeah.
you're like, why did we just argue about that?
Yeah, literally. But then
Actually,
you know,
for a
it's part of the
couple
job.
for a couple that spends 24 hours a day together, like we don't argue that much. I mean, content, our job drives us insane sometimes.
It can
And,
be
like,
really frustrating, can't it?
Yeah, and that's the only point we would argue. Outside of work, like we literally wouldn't argue at all.
I feel like that's the same with us, except food actually causes a lot of arguments with us. Like if one of us is hungry or something
Oh,
or cooking
absolutely.
If
dinner.
I eat Jesse's leftovers,
Oh my
or
god.
oh god,
Same.
I should just take a walk because she's gonna need to breathe.
I
Honestly,
think that's rogue, eating someone's food. That's just like in my
Yeah.
books. I feel like that's one of the worst things you can do to
I
someone.
thought we share everything together.
No, not the food, mate.
Did you have your name on it when it was in the fridge?
I've claimed it as mine, or I put it in there I wrapped it up and I put it like if we ever have separate plates, I'll put him a plate and me a plate. Like
It was really bad once. Jessie had some desserts in
Oh,
the,
no.
and I was like a little bit hungover, and I was like, I really need a sugar kick right now. So I ate them and then put them back in the wrapper and put them back in the fridge.
so I thought when I looked in the fridge they were there and we were hungover, and I was like gonna eat them in the morning because hungover I go a little bit rogue. Then I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to save these for after dinner. I got 2 goose, goose.
Yeah. Oh no.
Waiting
It's
all
pure
day.
I know, it was
Finish
really
dinner,
bad.
go to get them. I get them out of the wrapper. Like, Will watches me go to get them. Doesn't think to
He's
say, like get them out of the wrapper. I'm like, where the fuck they go? And he's like, oh, my dad had them.
Blame it on your
I
dad.
fucking did.
Yeah.
I know I was in
I'm really
trouble.
so angry at his dad.
I saw Jessie's face when she said, "Who the fuck ate this?" And I was like, "Oh my."
He's done that before.
Yeah, I was like,
Was it your first rodeo?
Yeah, but I got caught out.
Yeah.
I got caught out.
I would have
thought-
been so pissed.
I
Because
thought,
I was so annoyed that I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a petty joke to his dad about my desserts.
yeah, and then
You
I
should have
got.
gotten really mad as dad as like, and just see what his dad was.
I was
like,
embarrassed then
yeah.
because then everyone started to like. My evil plan was like getting untied, and I was like, oh. And I felt just really embarrassed. I had to leave the room. It was
Yeah,
horrible.
because I said to Will's dad, I was like, oh, is your dinner as good as my desserts were? He was like, I don't know about the desserts.
He's like, what?
No.
And then everyone points finger at him. And
He's getting
literally,
red.
I was so angry. I was like, you don't just eat my desserts. You hid it from me. You lied.
It was the lying. It was the
William.
lying. She was like, if you
Lying.
can lie about a dessert,
Yeah.
what else are you lying about? And I was like,
my
it was just a
God.
game, I promise.
Imagine your relationship breaking up over a goo.
Oh, I felt like it was that close to doing it.
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, we've had like one incident that was really bad. So we had just gotten engaged, or he just proposed to me.
Really quite bad.
And
actually.
so I was like, oh, great. Like, I've got my engagement. Like, let's get you one. So we like got him an engagement as well. Like, what, 2,000 or 3,000 pounds? Like, it was
yeah.
a nice engagement ring.
No, it's quite. I think that's quite expensive for an engagement.
Oh, that
ring.
is.
And unfortunately, I misplaced it. Yeah.
You would do that. You
But
would
he,
do
but
that.
he like misplaced it back then at the gym. So he went back.
I was
like,
convinced I left it at the gym at
he-
this
like,
point.
someone
Yeah.
stole it. It's like maybe a month into our engagement. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, this was 3K. You just got this ring. I was like fuming, and
I
then
was fuming.
it lasted years, and we never found it until what was it?
I'd misplaced it for a couple years at this point.
So when did you find it?
Still convinced that this guy at the gym, I put it in my bag when I was lifting. I didn't want to get scratched up and whatever. I was convinced there was this guy that was eyeing me out that day and stole it for all these years. Until I then, Nick goes off to Canada. So I go down to see my parents and I sleep in my old bed. And it has this tray. Okay. And I'm cleaning out the room because it was a mess and I didn't end up cleaning it ever since I left and lived with him. So came back and cleaned it. And then, yeah, I found it in the side tray of my bed.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
what's it doing
Of
there?
all
Did it fall off when I was
places.
sleeping? Or,
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a win 3 years
Yeah.
later.
Absolutely.
Was it still in crisp condition?
crisp? No
Yeah.
scratches.
And how did you
But
break
all
the
that
news?
arguing for nothing.
Yeah, how did you break the news?
I think I called you actually. I think I was screaming actually.
I'm like, what is he on about? I'm
I
like,
have it
oh
on
my
video
God.
as well. I remember
Yeah.
filming myself like, I've just found my ring.
I was like, thank God. Yeah.
Thank God. Okay, that's why I'm like, Will, if you ever propose to me, don't be spending lots on a ring because I know
You'll lose
I
it.
will lose it. I know. So Will actually got me a promise
that's
ring.
not the response I wanted.
Will
No,
got
no,
me
no.
a promise ring, and I've actually lost it.
Oh yeah, I got
Oh
no.
no.
I get.
I think it's going to turn up though.
Yeah.
It's in the side of your bed, babe. Just have a look.
So Jessie gave me a little, not like a talking to, but she made a comment. You've never got me jewelry, and I was like, oh, well, I got because for birthdays or anniversaries and things like that, we always like to do like a trip because it's something you can both experience together. So
Yeah.
I thought, for this birthday, I'll get jewelry. For Jessie, and I got a bracelet and a ring, and it lasted about 3 weeks, and we had no
Okay,
idea
hear me
where
out.
it
Where did they
is.
go? They
I
just
don't
disappeared.
lose
Yeah.
things. I'm like you. I would take it off and put it in my bag at the gym so it
Yeah.
didn't get scratched. Like I'm very like organized like that. So when we were going to Australia, I was like, oh, what if the rogue cowboy comes back to cowboy builder comes back to like get his
Steal
money
it.
back or whatever. I don't know. So I hid it. Okay, I hid a beautiful Fenty bracelet he got me and a ring.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm not going to take it to Australia because I don't want to lose it in Australia. I've hidden it so well.
Oh wow.
No.
Or someone's come in and stole it.
No,
They
I
might
get
have
the
stole
blame
it.
because apparently I don't recall this, but Jessie asked me to move it and put it somewhere or
Yeah, I
get a
did.
safe and put it in a safe. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Blame it on
did
him
it.
somehow. So.
I was like, I actually don't remember having this conversation at all.
That's funny.
Seems very organized of you though, Jessie.
I
you
know. And I'm still I'll be laying in bed, still thinking about this. It plays on my mind
my
all the
God.
time. I'm hoping it shows up like it did happen to you. And I'm like, I feel like for some reason I put it in a sock and then put it in a shoe. But then we chucked out heaps of clothes because I was like, oh, someone's not going to
no.
steal a shoe. And then I was watching our YouTube video back the other day and Will was like, should you go through these bags before we chuck out all the stuff? And I goes, no, there's nothing special in there. Now I'm like, was it in the
Oh,
shoe?
Was it in the shoe?
I don't know.
I still think it's the cowboy builder.
Yeah, I have a
Oh,
theory.
what?
He
You
came
guys
back
yeah.
and stole it.
It's not
That's my-
Jessie's fault.
He's gonna
That's
be
for
knocking
sure.
walls down. And some marine's gonna
Or maybe it's
pop
just
out.
your fault.
Literally.
I think it is just my fault, to be fair.
It's just his fault.
Things
Let's
always
just
come
stick
back
with that.
like everything's my fault in our relationship. So I don't know how that works out.
I feel like
Yes,
you guys have good
someone's gotta
energy.
take the
I feel
blame.
like it's coming back. It's coming back to me.
I'll manifest it for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got a dating dilemma. On our 3-year anniversary, my boyfriend told me he wants an open relationship. He said it's the only way we'll grow. I thought he was joking. He wasn't. What do I do with that?
Gosh.
So we've actually touched on this a little bit. So we're actually pros at open relationships. We're not in open relationship, but we are pros like at knowing what to say.
As
to
in,
this.
we've talked about it on a podcast before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I genuinely think like you either both need to be in it or not in it at all.
Yeah.
Like there can't just be one that wants it and one that doesn't want it, because it's like the second that I find you go open or whatever, because it's actually quite common for gays to be open. So I find the second that one of them proposes it or like and will be open, it just goes downhill from there.
Actually, such bad terminology.
Mm.
Babe, I think we will grow if we get in an
Yeah.
open relationship.
Yeah.
I can only
Yeah.
talk from kind of like my point of view, and if like Jessie proposed that to me, I just don't think I've got it. I could do that. I would feel
No.
really insecure about myself, and maybe that's about like maybe a me problem. But I would, I could only see it just the relationship going downhill if that
Absolutely,
like came to
yeah.
me in our relationship.
But bringing back to what you said there as well, if one person wants it and the other person doesn't, I feel like that isn't an opportunity to grow. That's an opportunity for one person to get what they want and the other
Yeah.
person to feel hurt.
There's no growth
Yeah,
there.
and I feel like you guys you need to communicate it. Like get down to the root. Like why does he want to be open? Like what is it? Is it that I'm not good enough? Is it because he wants to experience other people? Like, what is it? Because a lot of the time, like Ant and I, when we first got together, I had been with one guy before, and he's been with no guys. So for us, it was actually like a thing of like, well, we'll never be open in our life. But like, if it came down to it, like on a, like if on a holiday, whatever, like would we have a threesome maybe? Yeah, just so we both experience, but together, right?
Yeah.
But I would never ever, I would feel so like I feel a bit sick if I did something with like another guy without Ant being there. But yeah,
I think it works though for some people, and other people it doesn't. It's just what kind of stage your relationship's in. Like for that person, if they're writing in a question, it's like, how do I deal with this? Well,
It's obviously not the right decision to do it.
Yeah.
Not if you want advice, because I feel like if you both were like, oh yeah, we want to open a relationship, you wouldn't be questioning it, or you wouldn't be asking for advice on it because you're clearly not comfortable with it.
yeah, but I think it might come at quite a shock, but I think definitely question the boyfriend nicely and say like, why has this come up? Like, what about our relationship is not giving you like the avenue where you want to bring in someone else?
Yeah. 100%.
Gosh, we got so deep there.
Yeah,
It was like a
that's
therapy
really
session.
good. I love how you've discussed this before as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We're quite open with discussing these kind of topics.
I love that.
yeah,
And
I
actually,
think
there's a comparison between the gay community and straight relationships and gay relationships. A lot more often than not in the gay community, they're open a lot more.
Yeah, that's what
And
I found
I
with
think-
my
yeah.
brother, like telling like the family stories and different things like that.
What's he saying to your
Yeah, we just
family?
sat down at the dinner table and he just tells us all of his secrets. But that's
Yeah.
the impression that I got, and I couldn't believe it when he told us about Grindr. How I
no,
first-
not Grinder.
no, but you can see people's locations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I just think that's
it tells you
a very
like,
dangerous place to be in as well. Like, isn't someone being able to know where you are.
Yeah.
I think the scary part about Grindr is I think a lot of the reasons gays or younger gays are on it is because we didn't get to have like that high school romance. We never had like that boyfriend. So for a lot of us, the first thing that we have access to as gay dating is Grindr. So I think that's why a lot of people put themselves in a situation like that, because you might think, oh God, it's so dangerous, but a lot of us don't really have much choice.
Yeah.
Especially in smaller country towns.
yeah.
I bet there's not many gays just available. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet the app's popping though. Like, you know
Yeah,
what?
It's all farmers.
Yeah.
You can
Blank
expect
profiles.
blank
No, it is
profiles.
because obviously in like in the country and like in villages and things like that, you know everyone. So when my
Yeah.
brother goes to us and be like, "Oh, I bet you didn't know this," and like show us, and it would be like a whole big, "Oh my god!"
Wow.
Like we had no idea.
Oh, he's
He's
got a wife and 3
exposing-
kids.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't know why
Exactly.
they kids.
But when
the
you mentioned that
worst.
like the gay community are generally more open,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why do you think that is?
Well, I think the biggest reason is because there's two guys, right?
Mhm.
Like that question, it just came from a guy as opposed to the girlfriend.
Mm.
So I
Mm.
think overall guys are honestly more hornier. And just
Well, yeah.
maybe that's down to it because
I-
I don't see ever really girls
No,
presenting that.
I think women, and like you speak for me, but I think women have an equal sex drive. I just think that men are more prone to wanting to like actually I think men are more impulsive on it versus women can maybe think and go, okay, well, do I really want this? You know what I mean? I don't
Well,
is
like
that
genetically and biologically, that is
Yeah,
like men are
absolutely.
like more
Yeah.
impulsive as well. I think there's like less shame on men. Like if a woman, I feel like it's much more relaxed now. But if a woman's like speaking about sex and saying she's horny, it's like, oh. But then if a guy does it, it's kind of like, oh, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those stereotypes that get put on it. But like, I don't see any harm in us all being a little bit more open. But unfortunately, some people just don't want that, as we've probably learned. Okay, we're going to do a couple agree to disagree quick fire questions. So the first one is, do you believe in never go to bed angry with your partner?
Oh, absolutely. 100%
Yeah.
yes.
And we have done it. We have gone to bed angry because we have a guest bedroom as well, so that's great for that. We sleep, but then we'll always like one of us will always end up going into the guest, like following the other one to whatever bedroom they're in.
Yeah.
1, 2 a.m. I'm still spooning. You know?
Aw.
Yeah,
I don't care.
so
Like
no matter. Sometimes like we've gone to bed and like it's been on the brink of like breakup, but then yeah, we always find a way to solve our problems and talk it through and everything.
That's what a relationship's all about, though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you always, I guess, like quit when there's like a little hurdle or something like that, you're never gonna progress in your relationship.
Yeah.
We find that funny you say that because it's if we have that and someone leaves the room, it's always me leaving, and then like 10 minutes later, like a dog between my legs. I'm sorry.
You want to come back now?
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm normally the one to just go back in and
Yeah.
say, like,
Yeah.
I don't care if it was my fault or your fault.
Yes.
Like, it could have been your fault, you know, it probably was, but I'm just going to say it
But
was
I'll
my
take the
fault.
blame.
Agree to disagree.
Agree or disagree? Once married, the spark fades.
Wow, what a question.
I would say disagree. I think it's what you make of your relationship. I think
Did
you
it change?
Um,
Nothing really changed in
Nothing
ours.
changed.
Nothing
apart
changes.
from, I guess, like the title.
Exactly. And
A
I
lot-
think
yeah, a lot of things change on paper and legally. Like, I think marriage
Yeah.
is quite a big legal thing. Like, it changes a lot in your life together.
Yeah.
Actually, financially as well, you can get like so many more benefits of marriage that we found out. Like, so I don't think, no, actually, genuinely look it up. Like, that sounds awful. Actually.
Honesty sounds bad policy.
But regarding
sign up for
regarding
that.
your regarding your actual personal relationship, like literally nothing,
Nothing
changes.
changes, no.
So I think if
Yeah.
marriage fades, you know, maybe it's just like a you
I think you just
problem
have to
kind of
keep
thing.
things interesting as a couple. I think communication is key. Sounds so boring, but like
It
just
is.
keep
It's-
communicating.
Say it all the time.
Yeah, and just do fun things. Like don't just stick to like your natural routine. Like go on random trips, you know, spice things up. I don't know. But I think as long as you're always doing something different with your partner, it never, you know, the spark is always gonna be there.
I 100% agree with
I'm
that.
just going to go on a bit of a tangent with the getting married. How was the actual experience of?
Nerve-wracking. It was the first time our parents ever met.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, so we got married a bit differently. So we will have a big gay wedding. This has like not been said anywhere, I think, but we're gonna have a big gay wedding like in the next year or two. But what we did do is so my visa was expiring. So it was, and he done his 2 years in Canada. I done my 2 years here. So there was no other option for us as like a gay couple. So we had to get married. And so we got married in like, it was actually really beautiful. It was in his hometown.
I want to layer a little bit extra context to that.
Oh.
We were going to be long distance again if we did not get married.
Ah.
So that's why we
Yeah.
got, right?
Yeah,
Like we had exhausted all the options to stay together. So I also screwed up a visa. I applied for a visa that didn't require getting married, and
Right.
I screwed it up. So then we
That's
exhausted
expensive
that.
as well.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
a
God,
couple
yeah.
£1,000s that I
Mistake.
kind of threw down the drain. And then there was what our lawyer came to us, said there's one more option and you guys can get married. And I'm like, yeah, we want to stay together. Oh my God, I'm going to get
Yeah,
married.
we were ready anyways, but it wasn't, you know, our dream wedding. I mean, it was in a really beautiful venue, like on the seaside where he's from.
It was lovely.
But yeah, it was like very intimate family. It was like my sibling and my parents, and same for him. And that was also the first time that our parents were meeting. So not only were we getting married, Our parents were meeting for the first time, so it was such a stressful day. And I was just like, listen, it was really cute. I'm glad we did it, but I want like a big gay wedding
Yeah.
now. Like this
Yeah.
was not my dream wedding at all.
Yeah.
That's cool that you
So-
can like go back and do that as well.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, it's
The big
becoming-
gay wedding sounds really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a
does,
big
isn't
gay
it?
wedding.
They're
You
literally
guys
the
are
best.
invited.
That's coming a lot more in fashion though, like people getting remarried, obviously
Yeah.
with the same person, or if it's like a new engagement ring or a new
Yeah, like
wedding ring
renewal
or something like
vows
that.
and
Yeah,
stuff,
Also,
renewal
it's time to like
vows.
save money as well because they're really expensive, right? So
Mm.
if you know you'll be married anyways, just do it and then just have, just save money and like take the time to really plan your wedding out. Like don't rush it, I would say.
I had
Yeah.
proposed to Nick during COVID. So it was in our plans to get married. And then just things get crazy during COVID. I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be like a 1 or 2 month thing. It turned
my
out to be
God.
like a couple years.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
So like delayed it so much. And then at that point was I'm like, we're going to move back to the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
and then
like,
we had
yeah.
that period to get married in.
Yeah.
So that's why I was so rushed.
So you were
and
already
smooth.
engaged by that period.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were going to
perfect.
get
Yeah,
married anyway.
exactly.
Yeah.
So did your family fly over?
Yeah. My
And how was it? Because we're kind of like in the same position, I guess, when we get married, obviously, with me being here and Jessie in Australia, there's no way that your families are ever gonna cross and meet
Yeah.
before probably like the wedding day.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
long. Were you having long
Yeah.
distance?
Similar.
We would
Yeah.
never. We kind of moved in
Okay.
straight after the show,
Yeah.
sort of
Well,
thing.
where would you guys have your wedding? Australia or the
Australia.
UK?
I think
I'd say.
so.
Yeah.
This is like really cheeky, but first of all, Australia's got great weather.
Yeah.
Second of all, the pound is worth so much more than the Aussie dollar. So
Okay.
like it kind of feels like things are half price over there.
yeah,
That's good.
Wow, price deal.
Literally. So
Love
yeah, when you
that.
do the exchange rate, we spend our what are they called? Pounds. When we spend
Yeah.
our pounds in Australia, like it just devalues a lot. So I'm just like,
Okay.
and I think Australia's beautiful. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would if I had to pick. I'd probably go Australia as well. Yeah.
No, I've
Yeah.
kind of got a pretty set that it's just going to be done in
And your
Australia.
family won't be upset. They'll be like, "Oh, a vacation."
yeah, literally.
Yeah, no, 100%. Well, Jessie has been saying this place in Lake Como, which she's been looking at, which is something
Oh,
like
and then I saw the price.
£80,000 a night or something stupid like that. And I'm
Oh,
going, look, that could
gorgeous
be
though.
put in the book as like a dream place,
Yeah.
but that's not happening.
No, it's not.
To be quite honest.
No.
When I saw the price of wedding venues, I was like, mate, I don't care about the
Yeah.
wedding now. Before I was like, yeah, I want it beautiful. Saw like it's hundreds of thousands of dollars just for like the
So
venue I want. I was like, do you know what?
Yeah,
Let's have it on the farm.
Why not?
I'll
sheep.
put it
it
up.
would be beautiful, wouldn't it? You'd have like the sheep
That'd
and
be
the
really
alpacas being the
Yeah.
ring people that bring
Have
down
like
the
a
rings.
yak farm in the Aussie land, or
Yeah.
do they have yaks? What do they have over
we
there?
could literally set up a tent somewhere, like not a tent,
Yeah.
a marquee, a beautiful marquee. Like we'll
A
make
Five
it.
man pop up tent.
Yeah.
Aw.
Sounds like a dream wedding, guys.
Yeah.
Much better than Lake Como.
We'll get there one day. Yeah, Lake Como's not happening. I'll just dream about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually just going on another tangent. This is the position that I'm in, and I've told Jessie, so it's not like a surprise. Obviously, when you picked out the ring, you want it to be the most perfect ring, right?
Mm.
That's what I'm finding difficult. You just don't know what ring to go for. I'm finding it really difficult, kind of like looking, because every time I ask Jessie, what do you like? She goes, I like it all.
We was being
So I'm
freaking
just
out about
like-
the ring.
I'm
You're not
like-
dropping hints like your Pinterest board.
Oh, I've been trying to force it out of
Oh,
Jessie.
okay.
I've been trying to sit down
It's
and
gotten to the point. It's like, let's just go ring shopping.
Well,
Yeah.
you should look at like what she has currently for
Mm.
rings. Like, just get a sense of her style because that's what I did for him. I just got like a sense of what he likes,
Mm.
and then I was like,
That's what I'm
okay,
trying
that's
to
cute,
do.
yeah.
But I wouldn't go ring shopping where Jessie picks her ring. It's just so
Okay.
I can visually see what you like and what you're not. Because I'll send like, you know, in the TikToks when you can like swipe and it shows you the different rings.
Yeah.
She'll go, yep, love. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh.
like they're all so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, you're easy. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like you just want to get married.
Yeah, chill.
But then I know if I get the ring and it's not the perfect one, not that Jessie would be ungrateful or anything like that, but you know, you just want it to be the perfect ring and it's just a bit difficult. I'm
Aw.
finding it.
Okay, Jessie, start giving a few hints.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll give him
Tiffany.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
give him a brand at least.
Yeah.
Like a color.
Yeah, gold. There
Oh,
we go.
gold. Okay,
Settled.
okay.
Diamonds in it.
Yeah, big, like shiny.
I'm going to
Ooh, a
use
big
this as like
diamond.
my Pinterest, like looking
Yeah,
back at
yeah,
this
yeah.
point when we're asking her all
Put
of the
this all
questions.
into Pinterest.
Yeah.
That brings us nicely onto our last agree to disagree question.
Okay.
You should know if you want to marry someone or not within the first year.
I think
Oh,
things change.
tough.
Honestly, I don't
Mm.
think that's true.
Though I do feel like I think a year is a bit too soon. So I feel like a lot of people, like we had that moment where we were like, oh, a year in, I knew I was gonna end up being with you for a while. But I still think like, I mean, after 2 years, like we broke up for a little bit. So actually, you know,
Things change a
yeah.
lot. Like
Yeah.
honestly, anyone in the first year of their relationship are gonna think this person's meant forever. Like
Yeah.
that, you got
Still
what
in
a
the
dreamy
honeymoon
person.
phase.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, like to a certain extent, like that spark does like drizzle a little bit, but still, I mean, yeah, it's a tough one. I'm
I
gonna
think-
say disagree to the year, but it's good if you feel that way. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good
I've
sign.
I've always said the next person I'm gonna be with, I'm gonna marry.
Okay.
Because I felt like when I used to say that, it's so difficult because you can never predict the future or what's going to happen. But I always I wanted to date to marry sort of thing.
Okay.
But I kind of like understand where you two coming from. Well, it is actually really difficult because things change and so many things change. You have no idea what's going to happen, sort of thing.
But then
Yeah.
I think as well, if we had have met when like I was 23 and you were 20, obviously.
Jesse's
like,
already said if
we
we didn't
would-
meet on Love Island, we wouldn't be together because I'd be a
Oh.
weirdo.
No, I didn't say you'd be weird. I said you're too young. I wouldn't like go to a club and like, because he's 3 years younger than me. So when I was like 26, I'd never go to a place and be like, oh, I'm interested in that
Yeah.
23-year-old. Do you know what I mean? But because we met on Love Island,
Yeah.
it was like completely different. But then I think if we met when we were younger as well, I don't think we would be as solid as we were
Mm.
because we were both at a place where we wanted to settle down. So I
Yeah.
think like when
Good
you're young,
timing.
particularly,
Mm,
like you said, things do change, especially because like you're still growing up and learning about yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think things change, and we met at 18, 19. Our relationship back then when we first met versus now is totally different.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the why we're still together, why our relationship's so strong is so different to when we first met. Back then it was like all about, oh my God, I'm just finding the right guy. Wow, this is amazing. It feels so different.
Mm.
And then you experience like new careers and growth, and things totally change. I don't think 1 year is enough.
So the break that you had, do you think that would have done? Are you happy you had that break?
Oh,
I
I
guess.
mean, we were just saying the other day, we were just like that break was so beneficial for our relationship. And sometimes people actually need it, you know? And I think for us, I mean, we were so young at the time as well. So we both needed some independence as well. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
we both were just coming out from, you know, being with our parents at their house. So yeah, we had no independence. So it was really, really good. It was only a 3-month break, but
and what was the
yeah.
break like? Was it like you just didn't talk to each other, or you didn't?
We
see each other
tried
as
our
much?
best not to talk
Yeah.
to each
Yeah,
other.
but it's
Honestly,
difficult. I can
He was like
imagine.
stalking me on Snapchat though. It was
I'd be doing that though. That would be me.
I wish when we went on a break that we set better like boundaries and
Boundaries,
communicated a lot better.
Yeah.
We were 18 and 19. We broke up.
No, we would have been
We were
20 and
19 and 20.
yeah.
Broke up 2 years in. And our reason for breaking up was all about our environment
Yeah.
and not spending enough time together, because I went to uni. He just moved to UK.
Yeah.
I was with my friends living life, and just like I was new to relationships, so I didn't really understand it.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we tried not to see each other, but it didn't really work.
It didn't work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 3 months in, he was like coming to see me like every weekend, and it was just like, oh, screw it, let's get back together.
Did any of you feel hurt during that period? Was there any like negative feelings towards each other, or was it a very mutual decision?
No, we both
Yeah.
understood 100% why we had to go on a break.
You two are very mature.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
Yeah,
if
I think it was, yeah.
And also, the reason was our environment.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then at that point, I dropped out of uni. I moved to London. We fixed the issues of like what led us to break up.
Yeah.
And ever since we've been together.
I
So
would say that if you do want to resolve the problem, you will, because I bet it would have been so easy for you two to just be like, no, we'll just walk away. This isn't going to work. But if you actually truly want something and want something to work, there are solutions and are different things that you can do to make it work.
It's also, I love what you've just said, because I feel like for a lot of people, especially when you're young, if you have a break, it almost means that they're going to go shag other people or something, and then it just creates animosity, and they don't get along, and then they get back together, and there's a lot of hurt from what happened in the break period. But I feel like even though you were on a break, like your hearts were kind of still in it, which I think is, and like what you've done is actually extremely mature, because seeing that you do need to have a break, allowing each other to have the space and having like no animosity towards each other. Like it's pretty rare that you hear of that.
yeah, I think although we could have done better at communicating boundaries for sure, what exactly what goes on during that break, because a lot of people can shag whoever they want. That's their boundaries that they've set. Our boundaries were always like, okay, whatever happens, but look, we're going on a break because we want to fix things and look forward to the future together.
Yeah.
So therefore, like, we can make our own decisions of what we do during that period.
Yeah.
I think being more clear is better, but also not being like too restrictive.
Yeah, and
'cause-
also not being like
Yeah.
one-sided with it. Like one person kind of thinks, oh, we're on a break, I can do whatever, but then the other
Yeah.
person has different expectations.
Absolutely, yeah.
our vision was
Yeah.
always to get back together.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
and that solidified our relationship. And I just
Yeah.
feel like, I mean, ever since then, it's just been, we've never even had a thought of breaking up ever again.
Yeah.
So-
Apart from the home renos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can imagine.
Okay, let's divorce.
That's what we always say. You know, any problems or struggles that we have, it's like breaking up isn't an option. So you know,
Yeah.
if you do have this issue, it's like what can we do to make the other person or both feel better in the situation and things like that. You know.
Mhm.
If
And
you
also,
want to make it work, you will.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every
Put the
relationship
work
has
in,
so many
yeah.
high moments and so many low moments as
Yeah.
well. It's
Yeah.
just like so normal.
Yeah, because it's like in life you have highs and lows, and then when you have someone beside you, it gives you like an extra. It just adds an extra person's opinion into the lows, or someone else is experiencing it with you. So it's like double dramatic when it's in a relationship. Like if I have some lows by myself, I don't have to explain to anyone. No one has to know. But if
Yeah.
I'm in low and then Will's beside me, it like brings him down too. And
Mm.
yeah, so like relationships can be dramatic like that, but it's just a part of life, isn't it? Like if you've got double the
Yeah.
love there, you're gonna have double the lows, aren't you?
They're going to pick you up as well in the good moments. as well. It's going to feel
Exactly.
10 times more
We were
special.
just saying that the other day. Yeah, like if he's really sick and feeling horrible, like I'll just really step up, and like vice versa. Or if he's having a really bad mental health day, and even if I am, like I'll step up and I'll just take care of him. And,
Oh, I saw this
vice
actually
versa,
video of someone talking, and it's like if like your partner walks in and they're on a 20%, you're gonna have to bring it up, and you're gonna have to be
Yeah.
that 80%,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and vice
yeah.
versa. Whatever percent they're on, you're gonna make it up to be the 100% together, sort of
true.
thing. Which I think
Yeah.
was just such a smart, lovely way of putting it.
It's a nice way of
Yeah.
explaining, because relationships are never 50-50.
And
are they?
naturally,
No, of
you
course,
do it
yeah.
though. Like you'll just, even though like I'm having a bad day, even though you're having a bad day as well, like I'm just gonna be happier, and I'll just make you be. No, it's just like happens naturally. That's weird.
Yeah, like mental health wobbles happen as
Yeah.
well. And it's all about how can you get out of them together as well.
Definitely.
Like, and if you're
Yes.
both in there, you both have to acknowledge that you probably need a self-care day because you're both in the rut.
Yeah.
Because like you can't look at someone you love, even if I'm in a rut and I'm like down low and I can see Will down low, I would do anything to get him out because I can't sit and look at him in a rut. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, bitch, you need to get out of my rut. Will, I've got to help him now.
Even if it's a selfish approach.
Literally.
But we're going to move on to something quite fun now. Sorry if I interrupted you. But it's called Relationship Roulette.
Okay.
Wow,
And
okay.
it's quite a jazzy name, and it's just going to be they're just silly, goofy questions. And it's like whoever did it sort of thing. It will make a bit more
Oh,
sense.
okay.
We'll go through it.
This is just a nice little light one to start off with. But who said I love you first?
You.
Me. Yeah.
Cute backstory to it?
Yeah, actually there is. And it's really related to you guys as
Really?
well.
Really?
So I was
Oh.
really, really young when the first like Love Island came out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And a girl on there, she said, you know what, I find it really, really hard to, open up and say, I love you. And from that moment
were
on,
just so
I
inspired by-
think she was from Essex or something.
Do you
From
know
that
who it
moment
was?
on, I was like,
Who was
no, I
it?
can't remember. I have no idea.
I know what quote you're talking about as well.
Dude, we have to find
I haven't seen it. We do.
From that moment on, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to say I love you. I'm not going to open up, that was it.
Versus I catch feelings really quickly, and like I'm very expressionate, so I will just say it when it comes to my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said it first, but then you didn't say it until what, like 3 or 4 months after?
Yeah, I do remember we were laying
Like
in
hard
bed
to
when I
get.
first said it.
Yeah.
I was like, I love you too. And I was
Or
like,
he would go, love you too, and I was like,
It's not the same.
Oh,
no,
no.
babe, step back.
Who's the worst drunk?
sloppy.
Coachella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh god, we haven't even spoken about Coachella as well. Oh
Day
my
two
god.
turns. We
Day
take
two
turns.
was not me. Like I'm not the same
So I
person.
That was
Actually-
Patricia.
Yeah, that was Patricia.
Going back to the emotion thing, if one of us gets too drunk and the other one realizes, we're gonna like sober up to take care of the other one.
Yeah.
So
That's
like
just me every
naturally
time.
we'll have that too.
Do you do that?
That's so not
always you.
true.
Is it?
I'm
He's the
always the
drunk.
one.
He's always a drunk.
You're the messy one.
Yeah, because I'm like, if Jessie's getting drunk, I'm like, yeah, we're having a party tonight.
And she's
It's
like,
so
oh
busy what
god.
though when your partner's drunk. Something in me, I'm like, I can be off like really, really drunk. And then when he's like drunker, I'm like, okay.
And I'm
zen,
always
we're back
winning
to
that.
sober.
Yes,
We're looking
I'm
after
like
that,
him.
yeah.
I'm always winning that number one spot.
It's
as
good
well.
that we have that mentality. Though.
Just like not thinking about Jessie at all. It's like I'm having a good night.
No, I think about Jessie and I'll do it sat next to her.
Mate,
however-
he just thinks about takeaway on the way home.
Oh,
Oh,
I couldn't see you carrying him
enough.
home, like picking you.
Oh.
I
on
couldn't
your
either,
back.
but it's happened.
she's dragged me through some cities. She's dragged me through
Oh my
London,
God.
Rome, Sydney.
Oh.
that's insane.
Been a lot
drunk
to-
on tour.
Been a lot of places drunk. Yeah.
I think the best thing though is honestly when one of us is having a good time, like you will.
Yeah.
The other one quietens down, make sure that we both get home
Yeah.
safe. Because there's been
Yeah.
a lot of times where, actually, I'm not going to get into those stories.
Yeah.
What's happened on nights out?
But we need to hear about what happened at Coachella.
Okay,
Oh,
I
God.
just got way too messy. Because day one, I didn't have enough fun. I didn't drink enough because I wanted to like, take good content, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Day two, I was like, right, I didn't.
Overcompensate.
Yeah, I overcompensated
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, I didn't. I wanted to watch Green Day, and I was so blasted. I was like dizzy as hell.
What?
You missed it.
I had two people
Oh, no,
I
we
didn't
were
even
there.
know carry me and get water. It's like 40 degrees in a desert. It was crazy.
It's also quite intimidating when you're there because when you're in that kind of area, there's like celebrities just walking past you, other big influencers, and you're just like, oh my God, like I need to have a drink so I like chill out because it's like
Yeah.
quite intimidating to be in that kind
Yeah.
of space for like a while. But yeah.
yeah, because like we lucky we got like VIP like backstage access.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
We were like walking past like
Big
Charlie
swap.
XCX and like
Oh my god.
loads of big
Yeah.
headliners.
Did you speak to anyone?
We spoke to Charlie's bodyguard.
Oh no! That's a win's a win.
Yeah,
What's his
he's-
name?
And he's also British, and he
yeah,
was her
he was really
bodyguard for
lovely.
like years. He's such a nice guy. But
Kyle or Kyle, I think.
but he was her bodyguard since she was like 2014 Charlie XCX.
Best
He's been
job
the whole
ever.
time. Yeah, I
'Cause
know.
They went off and I saw the bodyguard just alone. So I was like, hi, are they going to want to take a photo or not? And he was like, no.
But I can chat to you. I'm like, okay, we just chat for like
And then we just like started talking.
I
yeah.
mean, Charlie's bodyguard, I feel like that's close enough.
That's
like,
basically meeting
well,
Charlie.
even being in the same like area.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, it was
Like-
fun.
It was a cool
interesting.
experience, yeah.
Only from what I saw on TikTok, she seemed like the it.
Oh, she was.
is.
It was
insane.
Bratchella.
Artist, I guess,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Well, she
Probably-
created Brat Summer.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah,
Brat is
she
just
like
like-
teased
Yeah.
her new season. So it's like orange now. It's no longer green.
Oh.
But that's all we know. So, yeah.
like, I'm so jealous that you guys went to Coachella.
You know what?
Next year. We'll
It's
go.
such a chaotic experience.
Yeah, it is
It
very
is.
tiring.
And the fact that there's no service in a 40-degree desert, trying to get an Uber
Yeah.
back home is like impossible.
Yeah, what no one
Yeah.
talks about is that like 3-mile walk back to the Ubers. Because like
Yeah.
I don't know if you had to experience
Is it
this,
actually 3 miles?
You know, it's
yeah,
1.3.
and it's
It's a
like
lot.
in the
1.3.
desert for like, and it's like 38 degrees, and it's like trekking through like dust, but no one really talks about that.
And it's really cold at night. In the
Yeah.
day, it is like so hot that it's almost like I'm going to get heat stroke. Like
Yeah.
I'm dehydrated. I can't drink alcohol. But then I'm like, I'm all the way here. You've got to have fun.
Yeah.
So you've got to balance like not getting dehydrated, having fun. And then at night it's freezing cold and you're just in your little short shorts or whatever
Because
you
everyone
wear.
like shivering.
associates it with the beautiful photos or the TikToks and things like that. You don't
Yeah,
see many
no one sees that.
TikToks walking. Apart from the video Jessie sent me when she was there last year of this, everyone walking back, and then these just hot dog men coming round
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
see the hot
saw
dog.
that. They all come in like the.
I thought it was hilarious.
Try to sell you
Yeah.
hot dogs, and then the police came and with horses, and were like to the people with hot dogs, like get out, like.
Oh my
So then
God.
there was like dust everywhere, and people
Yeah,
running
dust
around
is
with
awful.
hot dog carts everywhere, and I'm just standing there, and like the police on horses, like telling me and my friends like get out of the way because
Oh
like
my
they're gonna run
God.
us over with hot dog carts or a horse, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I just need to get back to the Uber.
Why does no one talk about this part of Coachella?
Yeah.
Honestly, and there's because the Uber experience at Coachella is so bad. There's a lot of the times you can't even find your car once it's ordered. So there's a lot of cars pulling
Just get
up.
in.
They're like, "Come in,
Yeah,
I'll get
they're
you."
like, "Get in."
Once you're in, they'll like mark up the price so much.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Hate it
It's
when
weird.
taxi drivers do that. That's one thing I don't settle for.
We do that. They do that back where I live because
Yeah.
there's no Ubers or anything.
Oh,
So it's
no.
just cabs that you get on like the side of the street, and they say any price they want to, depending how urgently you need it. So if there's
Yeah.
only like
Oh, no.
that taxi and no one else left, and you need to get
You're
home,
just like, whatever.
they will get. And it's like it's either that or walking, which would take you 12 hours.
Country living. Oh my god.
It's an option.
Oh no.
I do it. I'm stubborn like that.
Yeah. No, Jessie would, and I'm like, no, we need to go.
If
home.
I'm drunk enough, I'll walk.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's just steps.
I know.
Okay, we're gonna move on to what's your go-to apology, like your apology move. Yeah, how would you say sorry?
Well, mine is like not a well, I'll just be like, all right, you're right. Like I'll never really like I'm so bad at apologizing. Like
Yeah,
I hate to admit when I'm wrong, which is like a horrible trait. You'll apologize though. Like you'll say like, okay, let's just actually sit down and like.
I want to progress with my day. Of course, I'm going to apologize.
I feel like this is always like opposites attract type vibe. Like
Yeah.
you've got to have one of each.
I'm just petty. Like I don't know.
Every
like,
petty
Which one are
person
you-
needs
which
their
one are
grounded
you?
person. I'm petty, but when you're petty, I'm the other one. We
Because
swap.
sometimes I'll go, I don't even know
Oh.
why I'm saying sorry and why I'm the one having to say sorry, but sorry.
Actually,
this-
that's true.
Give the sass back.
But yeah, if you're being like really petty for whatever reason, like I'll go, okay, fine, like let's just apologize.
Which is awful because I never want to have to get to that stage of being petty.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, like it just wouldn't happen like half the time. So I would say 90% of the time it's me saying,
Yeah.
look, I understand your feelings where I went wrong. Of course, you know what? Let's learn from this
Yeah.
and let's continue.
I can 100% feel that. I relate to that a lot.
The only thing is, Will's like caught on to my sassy attitude. Like he says
Yeah.
things, and I'm like, you learned that from me. You're acting like me.
How
I
do you
can't
know
even be
that
mad.
word? Yeah.
Play with.
Fair play.
I learn, and then she can't be angry at her
I
because she
can't
know that I got it. I told myself off of her.
You're like, this is just me in a man's body. Hold up.
What is one thing that you both always disagree on? That would maybe start a fight every time, or you disagree on, you can't see eye to eye.
Well, so I've got really bad OCD. And he's getting really good now, but like he used to just like leave like mess, like dishes or clothes laying around. Like that's what I would say 80% of our like fights are like caused by.
Messiness.
But you
Yeah,
know,
messiness,
when
yeah.
he's telling me off for the same reason, but I see his fucking underwear on the corner as well.
Thank you. Will always, he says
Oh,
on the
yeah.
podcast all the time, Jess, you're so messy. I'm like,
Jessie,
have you actually seen your space? Have you actually seen the clothes on the floor? Because, you know, I did this to make a point because he was saying I was the messy one. So I started secretly cleaning up all my stuff and never cleaning his. And then when he would be like, you leave your mess on, I was like, well, actually, look at the floor. It's all yours.
Oh,
We've done that too.
can you do that to me, please? I'd love to see you clean your own mess.
bitch, 100%.
Can you take that on?
100%. Yeah. Although 90% of the mess is me,
Yeah.
does that account for 10% of the mess? You know, you do.
1% maybe, if we're lucky.
We'll agree to
It's been a bad
disagree.
week.
Yeah, I think this is an agree to disagree
Yeah.
topic for both couples.
Yeah.
I agree to disagree on that one.
Might need a therapy session after
Yeah,
that.
literally. Well, we are having a fight now.
See, one more question. That's ended on such a lovely note now.
Let's go
Thanks for
fight
that
when we
last
get home.
question. Yeah.
But thank you so much for watching. We really hope you loved it. And remember, like, subscribe, all of the good stuff.
And we hope you love Nick and Anne. We honestly thank you guys so much for coming
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Thanks for having
Thanks for
us.
having
Such
us.
good chats. And I feel like you've passed on a lot of words of wisdom, which
Hopefully.
it's so grounding talking to people that just have it all figured out. Well,
Well, somewhat.
except the mess on the floor.
Apart from the mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to click like, subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Love ya. Bye.